that everybody in this audience knows the title Sound of Freedom. And you think back, John and Amanda, to Angel Studios, the little studio that could. This little tiny studio started by a bunch of brothers in Provo, Utah, and what they did with the series The Chosen, and what they did with Sound of Freedom. When Disney wouldn't put it out. 20th Century Fox wouldn't put it out because they didn't like the subject matter. Well, now you have a studio that is totally designed to amplify light. And I'll be honest with you, John and Amanda, in being at this conference and seeing these storytellers, these content creators, these documentary makers, they are wanting, it's in their heart, it's in their mission, it's in their ethos to amplify light. We're in a dark culture. We're in a dark world, and what Angel Studios and what this conference does is brings Christian filmmakers together to help them to create the content that will amplify that light.
Pretty amazing.
Bo, are you finding as you talk to people there on the marketing side of things, what does it look like for them as far as their customer base? Because it seems to me that as the quality has increased, that there are a lot more people who are placing eyeballs on these types of things.
There are, Amanda, and I know that you and I share a common background in entertainment. This is no longer preaching to the choir. I want to be very clear about this, and I say this as someone who is in 2 projects actually being pitched for distribution here, full disclosure. But the type of content people want to see now is not just that cheesy Christian content that used to be made. ICVM has been around for about 50 years. This is the 53rd conference. So when you see the types of things that are being released, and let's use RFK Legacy as an example, Testament, which is about the book of Acts set in modern times. You look at A Week Away, you look at Sketch, you look at the film about that's going to be coming about the president, about George Washington, young Washington. These are films and pieces of content that are accessible and interesting to a much wider diversity of audience than it used to be. So this is no longer just Christians talking to Christians. This is also about expanding that base and finding people who want to see content that is very well made, but also has a message. And let's be honest, John and Amanda, we think about what happened in the wake of Charlie Kirk's untimely death. People are hurting. There's a lot of disaffected young men out there. We need to be producing content that serves them so that they don't go on to dark webs. And I think that's what ICVM and Angel Studios are all about.
Yeah, it's an amazing time. What are some of the, you've been wandering around, walking around at this conference, there's always amazing things. What are some of the things that most surprised you as you were taking in all that's going on at the conference?
I'll tell you what surprised me, John, is distributors here from Estonia, from Brazil, from Portugal, from places all across the world that say, if you just have a product, we'll subtitle it. Just send it over. There is an incredible need, an incredible desire for content. There's actually someone speaking right now who's a producer of a film I was in about 4 or 5 years ago that kind of has an Amish plot. And apparently people all across the world are very interested in plots that have the Amish stories, for instance. But these biblical tales, and in seeing what's happening in the United States, especially, let's be honest, guys, the revival that's happening right now in this country in the wake of Charlie Kirk's death. What Erica Kirk said, you've unleashed something, you've started something. There's a palpable feeling in this world right now that is happening right now in this country. And thankfully, there's an ICVM and there's an Angel Studios to help these filmmakers tell those stories that amplify light. We've got to serve that community.
Yeah. Before we let you go, Bo, Zero AD, that comes out in December, right? Just give us a little tease about it.
Yeah, it comes out in December. Actually, there's a premiere that's happening tomorrow night. I have not seen it yet. I can't wait to see it. But, of course, you all know Jim Caviezel and that incredible name. But Angel Studios, I just want to say this before we go. There is a new partnership that we have with Angel Studios where if you go to angel.com/rev, you can become a guild member. Now, may I say, why would I do that? Well, because Angel Guild members get to vote on what is actually created by Angel. So you have a vested voice in the content that gets made. So Testament, RFK Legacy, Zero AD, Young Washington. These are all projects that have to have an overwhelmingly high threshold of voting in order to go past the guild and get made. And I think that's an amazing part of this because Hollywood is pretty much doesn't have, this has upended the Hollywood model, and Angel's got the solution to that. And they're one of many distributors that are here. But I think it's just important for our audience to know that if you go to angel.com/rav, you can become a guild member, vote on all the great content that's there, and also get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to a lot of these projects as well. So please do that.
What an exciting opportunity. I'm signing up tonight. Angelstudios.com/Rav. How cool is that? That's pretty awesome. All right, Poe, great to have you on the show today. Thanks, my friend.